Welcome to Eugene Cannabis TV show of episode 590. We have your host here, which is Dink, and we have Stoned Phillips next to me is with us again tonight. Got some great things to bring up and talking to people. And I wanted to say real quick, our friend Chris McAllister, I said, what do I need to tell? What do I need to say on the show? And he said, looking for interns and activists to take part in the new conflict.
Wow.
The war is not over, and it is easier to sweep out fair access than ever before. We need you.
That's me.
Yep.
Hi.
That's right.
Sign me up.
That's right. That's right. And Stoned Phillips is proud to say is another warrior, just like myself. I consider myself a warrior, a freedom warrior, and been at it for a long time. And so tell us about some of the stuff you found today.
I wanted to mention, I didn't get a chance to mention this on last week's episode, this article from Freedom Leaf, another article from Freedom Leaf.
The latest Freedom Leaf, I got mine anyway, and Bernie Sanders is a feature on the cover.
Yeah, right there. And this is very interesting. It's an article about the top 20 stoner-friendly colleges. And I was like, man, you know, Oregon's going to be way up there. Wrong. Oregon has actually fell to 15th place. Yeah. University of Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, ranking despite legal marijuana passing in Oregon in 2014 on the decline. Placed 7th in 2014 and 8th in 2013. So we dropped to 15th place.
Wow.
And this is what really gets me as a student, is the tuition is $49,640. It's the most expensive tuition on this list of schools. And we're talking about schools from New York, Santa Barbara, you know, all kinds of top-notch colleges. And we're spending the most money. And it's definitely, I mean, the numbers right here prove it. It's not cannabis friendly. So something's wrong, and I'm trying to figure it out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to do what I can, you know, so.
Wow. Has you both becoming more conservative?
You know, I'm going to tell you like this. I'm not going to mention any names of people, but I did have a slight little run-in. You know, I was doing my thing on campus, which I'm allowed to liberally disseminate marijuana-related propaganda in the form of magazines on the U of O campus, which I found out through an investigation, a litigious investigation, and which thrilled me to no end. So I'm happy to do that. Anyways, I was doing my thing, disseminating this marijuana-related propaganda to my student peers, and some faculty member or staff member who will remain nameless, because I'm a nice guy, you know, kind of had a problem with it, you know, and was trying to say that my dissemination of marijuana-related propaganda somehow didn't create a safe workplace. And I said, you know what, do you feel unsafe with this? And he said he didn't. So then I was kind of in a quandary. Well, then, you know, what's the problem? And then all of a sudden he didn't want to even talking about it, even saying the word marijuana. You know what I mean? The phone rang and somebody had to pick it up, and I was in mid-sentence saying marijuana, and he was trying to go, oh, no, don't say it. Somebody's on the phone. And it's like, come on. So that's the kind of atmosphere that we're dealing with in a legal marijuana environment in Oregon. Okay? So that's just, I'm just letting you know. That's what happened.
Yeah,
so anyways, I let that go. There's no hard feelings, but that's just the environment that we're cannabis activists and our lifestyle choice causes us to be minoritized drastically, in my opinion. But anyways, that's a whole other story. I have another issue here. This is a pamphlet that I got in a local shop in downtown Eugene, and it's The Reality About Panhandling. And it's put out by a non-governmental organization by the name of Homeless Outreach Teams, HOT. they're hot,
Outreach,
right?
Outreach. What do they? How do they help the homeless?
This is what they're. It's a whole pamphlet about trying to deter the homeless. And I don't like calling them homeless. I like calling them travelers. Okay, that's what I like to call them. Trying to encourage these people to not ask for money, any form of asking for money from strangers with no expectation of anything in return. Now, when I give a homeless person some money, or a traveler money, or just a human being some money because they're hungry, then I expect them to go buy some food. So there you go. They've met my expectation. So they're not doing it for nothing. Now, what does this relate to cannabis? How does this tie in with cannabis? My question is, what if I give a nug to the nugless? Is Hot going to start putting out pamphlets that say I can't give nugs to the nugless, even though that's legal? So I don't know how far they're going to go with this. So I'm just letting everybody know about this. I don't like this. And I'm going to speak out against it as much as I can. Got a Sweet Leaf here, Sweet Leaf Cannabis.
Yes, sales are coming up. As we speak, 2 days, 3 days from now. And so we've been talking to some of the dispensaries, and Stoned Phillips talked to Sweet Leaf, and they told you about what they're
they're going to do a little, they didn't get into specifics, but they said, come on in October 1st, and there'll be some freebies.
What's the address on that in Springfield?
Oh, that is 3912 Main Street, Springfield, Oregon.
Right.
And the phone number is 541-653-8373.
Right, and I don't have the information, and I should have, for Mid-Valley Patient Resource, but they're just down the street, 3200, I think. I can't, but anyway, they're going to have a big shindig on the opening day, and Kevin, our producer, and I are planning on taking a camera and traveling around to these places on Friday.
Hey, I got the day off.
And there you go. And go around and talk to the people that are waiting, and interview other people, how they have to say about the way things are going, and hopefully the staff might have some time to talk to us. We'll see. They're going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
Everybody's unsure what's going to happen. Even the dispensaries are wondering if they're going to run out. They're wondering about the supply. In fact, I've heard some concern that the recreational is going to hit the market so hard that patients are going to have trouble finding their medicine. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it all works out. We don't know. But it's interesting times.
Yeah. Oh, the Canna Church Rocks, I believe. CannaChurch.rocks. I think that's the website. And a gentleman by the name of Larry and Ananda own that organization, or run the organization, however you want to word it. It's called Canna Church, and I don't remember their address, but they're also doing something on October 1st too. So be sure to check that out. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but they did mention they're going to do some special things on October 1st as well. So Ananda, he has a Facebook page, and I believe Canna Church also is either on Facebook, or just Google it. You'll find it, Canna Church, and I think their website is CannaChurch.rocks. So check that out.
What's the latest on the CannaCon or whatever?
The GanjaCon. You know what? Still don't know. They're still planning it. The organizers, the Love to Win Entertainment, and I think there's also a radio station getting involved now. One of the big radio stations is getting involved. So I'm trying to keep my finger on the pulse of GanjaCon best I can. So I'll let you folks know about any updates.
It looks like October then, or what?
I'm thinking October, late October, I believe, is when it's going to go down. So it's still in the planning phases, preliminary phases, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. And don't forget, we got the Oregon Medical Convention in Portland the weekend of the 11th. I've forgotten exactly the dates, but and then the following weekend, the 17th and 18th, is Hempstock.
Oh.
And that's going to be right on the riverfront, and that's going to be interesting. They were denied the permit, and they appealed, and they won. Now,
did you say you had a booth there?
Yes, so we're Valley Normal, a TV show, and also Emerald Empire Hemp Festival. I'll be sharing the booth up there.
Oh yeah.
And I just, 6x6 space would be all we need, and usually most spaces are 10 by 10. So I sent them a note and said, well, how big is the space? I said, I need to know which canopy to bring. They said, oh, bring your 12 by 12.
Yeah, that's a good size.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and those booths are, I think, retail about $1,000, and they're donating it to us. That's the THC Foundation. Paul Stanford. Paul's been a donor to the, not a donor, but a sponsor for the Hemp Fest for almost the whole time we've been in existence, actually.
Wow.
So he's been real supportive. Paul puts out a lot of money for that Hemp Fest. He always comes out in the red, all big, deep red, but he doesn't care. He does it because he believes in it, And I've seen pictures on Facebook of his garden this year. He has a very famous outdoor garden up in Portland. And every bit of it goes to patients. He doesn't take a penny for anything in that garden, and it's all given away to patients.
Wow.
One year they rented an old garage and cut it all down and then took it to the garage and hung it upside down and had fans and heaters and everything to dry it, Well, somebody tried to steal it. And they come up in a car and a pick and a small truck, and they got caught on the burglar alarm, and the cops busted them.
Wow.
So it was really fun to see the cops protecting the pot plants and taking the thieves away that's trying to steal the pot. So things are changing.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
But anyway, that was something to see. I'll never forget that. I walked in, and that whole place, and it's a big garage. It was bigger than our studio, and the whole thing was just full of plants hanging upside down, just drying. It was incredible. A lot of medicine there, but all outdoor too. So it's beautiful. But anyway, they're doing it again this year, and like I said, I've seen the pictures on Facebook. So I try to remember to cover those pictures and show them on our show. Big old plants. They got that grower container that's sitting on the ground. They got like these big sacks, where it looks like the whole root was almost sitting on the top of the ground. Interesting way they do that. Yeah. But a lot less labor, and you can't.
I think you can reuse them also.
I probably can.
If you take good care of them, I think you can get a couple seasons out of them. Yeah.
Probably can. You bet. So. And by the way, if you want to come down to Eugene Cannabis TV and say hi, we're behind Sheldon High School at the KRVM studio building, community TV. So Monday nights at 7:30. Love to have you come by, say hi, come on the show if you'd like. We're open, and we need the support. Yeah. So we're going to take a break here because we don't want to expend all our energy. So we got to take a break, and we're going to come back with the second half of show 590, and Stoned Phillips to tell you some more stuff that he's found in his travels.
Yes.
So we'll be back. Right. And we're back with the second half of show 590, the Eugene Cannabis TV show. And the third half, we're still working on that, so wait for that. It'll be coming up. That's a little humor there. But,
I was going to say. How do I get that? Is that on the special DVD collection of Eugene Cannabis TV?
Yeah.
The director's cut? I don't know.
So, tell us about the DEA. What's the DEA up
to? This is from marijuanastocks.com. And there's a lot of good websites out there. There's so many good, not just cannabis-related magazines right now that are free. As I've said before, they're in all the medical shops. But there's a lot of really, really good online news sources as well. that are cannabis related. So I mean, it's just more and more information is pouring out every day, and it's just harder and harder for the DEA to put the cat back in the bag.
Yeah.
That cat is clawing and scratching, man.
That's what I've been saying. The cat's out of the bag and it's not going back in.
It doesn't want to go back in. Oh. So this story is from marijuanastocks.com. It's why are funds from the DEA being used to destroy marijuana crops? I'd like to know why. Especially here in Oregon. It's legal, isn't it? Dang.
Yeah.
That's what I voted for. I remember. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I was dreaming. I don't know. Maybe I was sleep voting. I don't know.
They're feds. They play a different playbook.
It says marijuana has officially been allowed in Oregon. But according to a recent report, the federal government is still doing its part and has sent over $500,000 to keep uprooting marijuana plants. Really. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency is willing to pay $750,000 to Oregon police just to continue to ruin marijuana operations throughout the state, according to obtained documents. This quote-unquote compensation is based off a marijuana eradication program from over 4 decades ago and aims to completely stop those trying to take advantage of the cannabis industry. The biggest issue, obviously, is that the money used for this eradication is being paid by the taxes of those who voted for marijuana to be legalized. Okay, let me continue. Let me go on. A week ago, Lou and Justin Amash, I hope I'm pronouncing their last name right, of Michigan, proposed a measure to the House of Representatives that would focus on getting rid of the DEA's $18 million marijuana eradication program. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. I could think of a lot of things that our country could be doing with $18 million. There's a lot of people out there in the streets, and I think they need $18 million. That's just my opinion. But anyways, not only would the proposal stop the DEA from spending taxpayers' money who are in support of marijuana, but it would also thwart them from cashing in on civil asset forfeitures. And I remember reading an article, the DEA, Rand Paul and Cory Booker passed that measure, that bill to defund the DEA, so that the DEA would receive no money for prosecuting medical patients or med growers or med shops in states where medical marijuana is legal. Okay, so what did the DEA do? Oh, they're clever. They said, oh, well, we'll just seize the assets. We're not prosecuting. So they just come in, I guess on their own free time, because they're not receiving any federal funds to do it. So I guess the DEA is coming in for free, just on their day off, to go seize assets, your house, your car, your boat. Yeah, getting away with that. So anyways, so this is, I'm hoping something comes of this, because that civil asset forfeiture is still a game they're still using. So they may not prosecute you, but they'll still steal your stuff, basically. License to steal. Here's another story here, hightimes.com. Good publication. Mm-hmm. I love this. IRS agent busted for extorting money from marijuana dispensary owner. Like the gangsters they are. An agent working in the Seattle branch of the Internal Revenue Service is now facing criminal charges after extorting money from the owner of a local cannabis dispensary in exchange for a lenient audit. According to the report from the Seattle Times, Paul Hurley, 42, is on the road to federal prison for attempting to squeeze tens of thousands of dollars out of a businessman for help with a delinquent tax bill. Prosecutors say Hurley presented the dispensary owner with documents that indicated a tax debt of nearly $300,000 and then suggested the bill would have been in upwards of $1 million had he not worked some magic. That is when Hurley asked if the two could talk, quote, off the record, and then shortly thereafter demanded $20,000 for doing the shop owner a solid. At first, The businessmen refused to comply with the agent's unusual shakedown, but eventually called him back to make a deal. So, and what's funny too, I want to mention this about the IRS, is the IRS is, when Colorado legalized recreational marijuana, what was that, 2012, I believe it was? 2012? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2012. Then the IRS cooked up this scheme where they said, well, you know, you can't do the recreational marijuana business owners in Colorado, you can't have bank accounts, so you have to keep all this cash. And we're the IRS, we still want our tax money, so we're going to tell you how to launder your money, recreational marijuana business owners, by going to Western Union, buying some money orders, cleaning it up, and then go ahead and send that money order to us, the IRS. So the IRS is telling these business owners how to launder the money and then accepting known laundered drug money. That's what the IRS is doing. That's in Colorado, they're doing that. Now recently I found that the IRS is so bold that I forget what IRS code it is, but I will find it. I would love to quote the IRS code for this, telling recreational marijuana owners how to, what was the word they used? They used some crazy IRS tax word, but basically it's how to pay taxes on Schedule 1 drugs. It literally says business owners dealing with Schedule 1 drugs. Come on. So they've codified it now. First they were just telling recreational marijuana shop owners, you know, in memos how to launder their drug money, and then the IRS would accept the known laundered drug money. Now they've codified it. Now the IRS has codified money laundering and accepting known laundered drug money. I don't get it, Dank. I don't understand that. If I told anybody how to launder money, I'd be locked away, and then if I accepted the known laundered drug money, I'd be locked away double. But these guys can get it. They can codify it. They can put it into law, or administrative law, anyways. I don't know. Pretty hinky. It's just my opinion.
So we're the world we live in.
Here's let's see. Let's see. I'd like to talk about this one. This is from the dailychronic.net, another good source for marijuana-related news. You know, everybody thinks, you know, we're living in this realm of legalization. We got, you know, a few states where it's legal, and everybody thinks, oh, you know, the feds, they're being defunded. You know,
it's over.
It's over. Don't worry about it. That's what everybody's saying. Well, check this out, folks. Check this out. FBI reports marijuana arrests increased in 2014 for the first time since 2009. What? I thought they lost all their money. I thought they weren't interested. I thought it was legal. 700,993 arrests were made for marijuana offenses in 2014, up from 693,058 in 2013. More than 88% were for simple possession. It's pretty bad. Washington, D.C., the annual number of arrests for marijuana offenses in the U.S. increased last year for the first time since 2009, according to the Uniform Crime Report released Monday by who? Who am I getting this information from? The Federal Bureau of Investigations. Yep. It's on their website. Yep. An estimated 700,993 arrests were made nationwide for marijuana-related offenses in 2014, up from 693,058 in 2013, of which 88.42% were for possession. On average, one person was arrested for a marijuana-related offense in the U.S. approximately every 45 seconds. And every 51 seconds for simple possession. So every minute, somebody's getting busted just for having it. So I don't know. I don't know.
So the war continues, and this is what Chris was saying. You know, we need help on the fight. So, by the way, the Willamette Valley Normal, we're reorganizing the chapter. So this is a great time to jump on board, and we've got some ideas, things we're working on. been in contact with some legislatures, legislatures. There's a short session coming up. We've got to get the word out of what we want and what we need done. So we're working on that through the legislature. So.
My suggestion for just the regular everyday person, I mean, if you can, get your medical. That's what I'm encouraging everybody to do. Go get your medical.
Yeah.
I think doctor's visits, the doctors will work with you. I think they'll get it down to, if they find you're low income or whatever, they'll knock it down to 120, and then if you got OHP, then you only got to pay the state $20. So I mean, it's not that much, and it's really important to keep that medical alive.
Exactly, that's right. And also the medical, you won't be paying any taxes. And when the sales right now are recreational, you aren't paying any taxes either.
Yep.
But after the end of the year, that's when the recreational percentage kicks in. I understand it's 25%.
Yeah.
So
which is not what I voted for.
No. So the medical card is a way to get your tax-free medicine. So we need to keep the medical program, and like Stoned Phillips said, get your card. And if you know a friend that's a patient that doesn't have a caregiver, sign on as their caregiver. It only costs I think it's $50 to add them onto the card, and that gives that person the freedom, same as a patient. So anyway, that's some of the ideas. So the show's coming to an end, and you could have been here. So next week we hope to see you.
Come on down.
You bet. So thank you, Stoned Phillips, for coming in and helping us out again.
Yeah.
And who knows what we'll have next week, but we're going to go talk to some dispensaries. So we'll be having some reports on those, I think, and be seeing some happy people that are able to actually go to the store and buy marijuana.
I'm gonna go make out with Mary Jane.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's time to show. Okay.